So what if the entire story of us, of humanity, from the very first creature that crawled onto his sun-baked rock to our sprawling global civilization, what if it's all just a story of one great departure and an even greater return? Well, that is the incredible saga we are diving into today.
It's really the ultimate question, isn't it? And to even begin to answer it, I want you to just imagine a single, unbroken thread. A thread that stretches from some primitive amphibian gasping for air on a muddy shore, all the way to a satellite silently orbiting the Earth today. That thread, that's the story of our journey. A story defined by movement. And today, we're going to follow it.
All right, so our story has to start with what is probably the most audacious journey in the history of this planet. Life's very first terrifying steps out of the water it knew and onto a barren, totally alien land.
Now, the thing that's it's truly mind-bending here, is the scale of time we're talking about. You know, if the entire history of Earth were a 24-hour clock, all of our recorded human history, all of it, would be just the last few seconds before midnight. That's the kind of timescale we're dealing with. A massive, slow-motion invasion that took over 100 million years.
Just try to picture it. A world where the air is thin, the sun is just brutal, and gravity is this crushing force you've never felt before. Every single step is a fight for survival. This was the hostile world that life had to conquer. And it did, with this relentless, almost brutal efficiency, setting up this grand theme of moving from the sea, across these island-like footholds, to finally claim the land.
But, you see, conquering the physical land, that was only step one. The next revolution wasn't going to be fought with claws and teeth. Oh no, it was going to be fought with a new and infinitely more powerful weapon, the mind. Think about it. For hundreds of millions of years, life was all about wandering, moving. But then, with the invention of agriculture, we did something that was totally unheard of. We stopped. We settled down. And by doing that, we were no longer just reacting to the world around us. We actually started shaping it, building a brand new world of our own design.
So, here's the crucial point. Think of it like this. For a hunter-gatherer, their success was all about physical information. You know, how fast could they run? How strong was their arm? But for a farmer, their success was driven by brain information, their ability to understand seasons, to plan for the future, to cooperate with huge numbers of other people. The whole focus shifted from the body to the brain.
And this shows you exactly how that new world got built. Imagination was the spark that lit the fire, letting us dream up things like gods and laws and nations. Then language and numbers, well, they were like fanning the flames, giving us the tools to organize ourselves. And the monetary economy? That created a blaze that would reshape the entire planet, all of it based on a shared belief in a completely virtual idea of value.
So for thousands of years, we've built these amazing empires of the mind, all on solid ground. But that call of the sea, right? The place of our ancient origin? It was never truly forgotten. And pretty soon, it would call to us again, promising not a trip back into the past, but a path to a whole new future.
1 year, 1492. This is the year the world's oceans, which for so long had been this terrifying barrier that separated civilizations, suddenly became a highway to a new destiny.
To really get why this was so huge, you have to picture the world just before that moment. Imagine Eurasia, this massive continent of walled cities, silk roads, spice caravans, a place where the great land empires of the East held all the keys to wealth and power. And Europeans? They were pretty much trapped on the far western edge of it all. And this is why the source material calls Columbus a mutant dreamer. His vision was just so radically different. I mean, while everyone else was looking east for riches, trying to get through these dangerous Ottoman-controlled land routes, he looked west, to an empty ocean that most people thought was just an impassable void. He put all his chips on the sea. And history proves that his gamble paid off big time. And not just for him, but again and again. Every single one of these landings was a pivotal moment where a power based on the sea projected its force onto that great Eurasian landmass. From Columbus opening up 2 new continents, to Japan's invasion of Korea, all the way to the D-Day landings that literally changed the course of World War II, history shows us crystal clear that the power to shape the world now belonged to those who commanded the waves. So what happens when we look at these 2 epic journeys,
life's slow, agonizing crawl from the ocean, and civilization's dramatic, explosive return to it, and we see them as two halves of the exact same story. Well, something stunning, something profound emerges.
This right here is the grand reversal. It's the central idea of this whole explainer. It's like a cosmic echo, a story of a great departure and an even greater return, playing out over 500 million years of history. The path of humanity perfectly mirrors, in reverse, the original path of life itself.
And this just illustrates the symmetry perfectly, doesn't it? Life used islands as literal stepping stones to get a foothold on the land. And civilization? We use the land, entire continents, like the Americas, as giant islands, as bases from which we could launch out and finally conquer the sea. So the really crucial point here is that this grand reversal isn't just some poetic theory, it's a force that has actively shaped our reality. The British Empire, the largest in history, was built on the back of its navy. The United States projects its global influence through its control of the seas. Hegemony, world power, was seized by those who completed that return journey.
You know, by understanding this epic cycle, this rhythm of departure and return, we don't just understand where we came from. We might just gain a powerful new perspective on our place in the universe and on the incredible and maybe even predictable journey that still lies ahead of us.